So my mom actually has always wanted to have a salon business. She's been doing our hair since we were young. Well, there's 4 of us girls in the family, so she's always been doing our hair and she's always wanted to teach us. And so she ended up going to take some classes for hair and aesthetics, and she found that she really enjoyed it. So my dad was like, hey, this is something that you're good at, why don't you give it a try, start a business. So then she decided to start a business. This is not the first time, so she opened a salon twice. So she's opened it before, and then she's done it for a while, and she was like, hey, I've done this enough. I want to, just relax. She sold the business, and then she just found that, she still had an itch and a desire to do hair and to style people. So she decided to open up a business again, and here we are. We started off by just, practicing on each other and just watching YouTube videos. And then eventually my mom decided to take some classes, which she did. And she took it for a couple years, and then she found that she was ready to start doing hair. And so she ended up opening up the salon, and yeah, I'm still learning. So I'm still watching YouTube videos, and I'm still practicing on my sisters. So I haven't gotten there yet, but my mom has definitely learned a lot by taking various classes and watching various videos. When we first moved here, my mom decided to open up a salon somewhere in the Parliament area because she found that there weren't enough salons who were doing hair for African Americans. So she decided to open one up, and then we ended up moving. That's when she had decided that she had, had the business for a while and she just wanted to relax, and so she ended up selling it. And then we decided to come back because there was still not much of a representation in the area. So she decided to open again, and a lot of her customers were very grateful because they knew her and they knew that she did a very good job once it came to handling their hair. I think one of the main challenges that we had when opening the business was just the money aspect of running a business. I feel that having a salon in downtown Toronto is so much more expensive than having it in the outskirts such as Scarborough. So we found that when we were first opening, actually how we first started was that we were buying packs of weave. So my mom started off by buying 3 packs of weave and then 5 packs of single braids. When she would hear various salons having sales, that's when she would buy hair in small amounts, and we were just filling up the basement. And then eventually we managed to save money, and we had enough packs of hair and hair products to open up a salon. Although it was expensive, it did take us some time, but we managed to save the money and open up the business. I believe one of the challenges that we are currently experiencing is that now a lot of people have learned how to do hair. Especially, I believe, during COVID, a lot of people had time to kind of, watch YouTube videos and learn a new skill. So a lot of people have been learning how to do hair and how to just take care of their own hair, and a lot of people have also decided to go natural. So once it comes to selling hair products, it has been a little bit tough, but for the most part, customers have been pretty loyal, even just coming in for a wash or anything like that, just because they know that my mom cares to take very good care of them and that she's able to do the job well. One of the things that I would change if I knew what I know now would definitely be sticking to the prices that we put in place. I know that when we first started the business, we weren't too sure if customers would keep coming back. So anytime people would ask for discounts, we were always handing out the discounts, just with hopes that customers would come back. But now I feel like we can see that the loyal customers will always come back, and that us doing the job and doing it well speaks for itself. My vision for the business for the future would definitely be maybe to open up a beauty supply store, just because there aren't too many in the area, and it would be great to be a Black-owned beauty supply store. For my mom, I think she just wants to keep the business going. She just enjoys, just doing hair. She loves it, and she enjoys just being around people. She's a people person, and just making people beautiful. It's a good feeling to see customers leaving happy and looking amazing. One thing that I would say to a young person that is looking to start a business is to invest in yourself and to believe in yourself. Like I said, when we were first starting the business, we didn't have much money. We started off by buying 1 pack of hair, 2 packs of hair. So I would definitely say that as a young person, just believe in yourself and go for what you desire. You know, take one step at a time. Don't expect to start at the top. We always start at the bottom and we work our way up.
Challenges that I faced, I mean, every day is a challenge growing up in Regent Park. So, you know, business wise, you're looking forward to the challenges. But I told you, look, you know, you got to plan for the rainy days. But challenges, I would really say business wise, a hiring process and COVID-19. That's the biggest challenges so far that I've faced. Everything else has been crispy. It's been a smooth ride.
What led you into the salon business?
Honestly, I tried to maximize my art by attacking the industry. You know, just I started cutting hair, and I was just a barber, and you know, don't really use you use mostly clippers and scissors, but with the hair industry, salon industry, you get into coloring, different textures of hair. Yeah, I felt like anybody that walked into my store could get the same service that they get anywhere else. So, you know, that's outside or something like that. So I was glad to open my doors to just anybody to get services by me. That's what led me to the industry, the hair industry. You know, just being able to open my door to anybody. You know, because before it's more just focusing on what I know, but now it's like I have so much knowledge on hair that I could open my door to anybody. So that's what led me to go there.
Okay. Is this your first business venture?
Yes, this is my first business venture.
Okay. Knowing what you know now, what would you do differently?
Unfortunately, I would choose a different location.
Why?
For personal reasons. Because of the stuff that I didn't know before, that's why. But now I know. You're still in the video, you know.
Am I?
Oh yeah.
It's okay, they can zoom into you.
Okay.
What would you say to a young person looking to start a business in the hair and beauty industry?
Well, what I tell my young boy, us, is, you know, you gotta be ready. You know what I mean? You gotta challenge yourself. You gotta be ready, you know, do your homework, do everything that you're supposed to do. Like it's school, right? When you get into, when you tap into your gift, or you tap into your skill, it becomes school. You know, you gotta wake up on time early in the morning, make a routine, you know, prepare yourself for that moment, you know, for when the doors open, you know, or for when you're about to go into your canvas, you know. So just preparing yourself at all the time, doing your homework, you know, doing extracurricular activities with that skill, you know, just doing overtime, just, you know what I mean? So just making sure that you're studying your craft all the time, and focusing on it and making sure that you get the best out of it, and that, you know, you're going 100%. Because if not, there's no point. You know, put in your 1,000 hours, I would say. You know, put in your hours, your 10,000 hours, I should say. Yeah, 10,000 until you perfect something. So really put in your 10,000 hours. You know, don't worry about the money, because all of that stuff is gonna come. It's not really, you know, it's just about your skill, and then you could go anywhere in the world and take over.
What are some of your aspirations for the business?
Expansion. Just expanding, just being able to stamp everywhere. Once you walk into Supreme Cut, there's a certain standard that I have for you. So to expand and to, you know, one day be able to go somewhere else in the world other than the Supreme Cut in Regent Park, and to have a location that has the same standards, and you know, that like that right there is just, you know, it's big. So that's like what I aspire to do, to expand my team and expand my business and stand different places, so that when I walk in, I know that this is the energy that I created from my home, you know, because all of this started in my home.
What is it like being a young Black business owner?
It's frustrating because there's so much things you gotta, you know, it's just a lot. It's frustrating just because, you know, the Black people problems, I should say, you know, little stuff. This, again, I think this is a personal question, but when I say frustrating, I don't mean it in a negative way where it's like frustrating where it gets you angry, but it's a lot to deal with, and you got to be ready for the moment. And I know we have low toleration. Yes, as young Black folks, we have low toleration, but it's you know, just it's something that you gotta, you know, train your, you know, just be ready for it. Be ready for it, and the worst things could happen, but you gotta be ready for it. And yeah, like it's not, you know, you're just an entrepreneur, Black, white, whatever, but just obviously being Black, there's little stuff that come with that, but that's it. That's as far as I'm gonna go with being Black and being an entrepreneur. But other than that, it's cool.
What inspires you?
Life, being alive, just, you know, yeah, just my parents, family, friends inspire me to just, you know, experiences just inspire me to try to be better, you know? And, you know, just create a bigger picture, because I feel like a lot of I just feel like people are like small-minded. A lot of people, or I should say, the people around, the people that I've been around are very small-minded, and that we should open up, you know. So instead of just staying in my room, to think bigger than my room, you know. Think of business, think, you know, the actual storefront, and then from a storefront to expansion, to what's next, you know, different locations.
Not all this here.
How does social media affect the way you do business?
Well, I allow everybody to book their appointments online for the services. So if online is not really going, then nobody gets their message. So if I'm not showing up to work or something like that, there's an emergency, I usually send it through online and all that stuff. So online helps me a lot to, you know, to do my business. So, I mean, it's a big part of my business, but if not, you could always walk in and wait for a seat. That's no problem.
And last question, why did you choose to open your salon in Regent Park?
For the people, for the culture. It's what I know. You know, it's just what I know. It's where I come from. It's where I gotta start. It's where I plant my seed. It's where I feel comfortable. It's you know, it's for my people, for real. It's just for my people. For everybody to be able to see that it's possible. You know, to give everybody else inspiration. And motivation, you know, inspiration, motivation for everybody else that doesn't believe it, because I never had anybody that I could look up to and, you know, say like, yeah, that guy's a cool barber, or that guy's this, or, you know, he's cool with, you know, what he's, the skill that he's doing. It's either, you know, to us it's like, you know, drug dealers are rock stars to us, you know. You look to them and it's like, yeah, you're doing something.
Oh yeah.
And if it's not that, then it's obviously sports, but not everybody gets that same chance. So to have somebody that has you know, to have somebody, to look up to somebody that has a skill that doing something like special for them in their lives. It's you know, it's something. So that's just, for me, I just want to inspire anybody else to be able to look at me and be like, yeah, man, he's the same as me, so I can do what he's doing, and that's the right mentality.
So the first question I have for you today is, what are challenges you faced since opening up your business?
The challenges, there's always challenges, you know what I mean? To be honest with you, like the way I've always looked at it is like, you know, if you're used to coming from kind of like the underdog side, you know what I'm saying, and where the odds is kind of against you in ways and stuff like that, it's almost like that part of the challenge is not hard. You understand what I'm saying? Because we kind of lived through that in ways, you know what I mean? We already had to come up through that, just in life. Forget business and whatever else you want to do, you know what I mean? Just through life, family, whatever, you know what I mean? So when I was given the opportunity to come down to the business, like there's always going to be the challenges, but they say it's not about what happens, it's how you choose to respond to it, you know what I mean? And I think that part of it is what kind of makes and breaks a lot of people, you know what I mean? And not to say that I got it figured out or nothing like that, but I think they talk about being proactive or reactive, you know what I'm saying, to whatever happens to you. So if whatever situation that's beyond your control that, you know, presented some type of challenge, you know what I mean, if you're able to proactively be positive, try to find a solution, you know what I mean, accept, okay, this is the situation, now we gotta, how can we adjust from here? Or are you just reactive to it and just get emotional and just, because I think that time when that happens, that's when a lot of things unravel.
What led you into the salon business?
I started cutting hair when I was 15 years old, you know, so I used to have long hair too when I was young, and I cut my hair off when I was 15, and I learned quick. I shaved it off, you know, and I learned quick that I couldn't afford to keep my hair as short, you know, as fresh as I wanted, as often as I wanted, you know. Within a week, I'm seeing it grow back, you know, and I'm like, oh man, like, and I think the way that I am, I guess naturally, or a lot of people that do hair or just creative people, it's like, it's kind of like a tactile, you're kind of like a tactile person, you know what I mean? So it's like, for me, I'm seeing it grow back, and I'm like, oh, I could use another cut, but I can't necessarily afford another cut, you know what I mean? So I learned within like 3 haircuts after me cutting my hair off that I couldn't afford to keep it as fresh as I would like to keep it, you know what I mean? As fresh as I knew it could be, you know? So my brother, actually, my older brother, bought me a little $30 clipper set from Canadian Tire, you know, and I just started cutting my own hair. And then it goes from there, right? You start cutting your homeboys in the neighborhood, you know, people in school, hallways, backyards, balconies, stairwells, basements, driveways, you know what I'm saying? All of that, you know? So it goes from there. So in a way, it kind of fit my lifestyle, you know what I mean? I went to school for advertising also, so, and in the mix of that, I was always still cutting, but I graduated and I was like, you know, even halfway through the course, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go with this barber thing and see where it takes me, you know, and be true to myself, you know. I didn't really care to go make Coca-Cola more money.
Is this your first business venture?
It's my first spot, it's my first location, yeah. I actually, the first one never really took off, but I actually was gonna start a barber supply company years and years ago, you know, and like, I don't even know how long, I'm going back like probably 13 years ago or something, you know. Registered the business and everything, and we never really pursued it too tough, but I started a brand also 10 years ago, like a streetwear brand, you know. So but it's my first location, it's my first, like, okay, here's a shop, you know. Yeah, for sure.
Knowing what you know now, what would you do differently?
You know what, I wouldn't do a whole lot differently. What I would do, the piece of advice that I would give myself if I could go back in time and give myself some advice or whatever, or anybody that cares to hear it or whatever, you know, it's like, you know, trust your vibes, man. You know what I'm saying? Trust your vibes, you know what I mean? And a lot of times what you really got to watch for, unfortunately, is the people around you. You know what I'm saying? And the people that you let around you and stuff like that. And not all those times do those people have, you know, your best interests at heart. You know what I'm saying? And they can sometimes, a lot of them can maneuver through it and kind of hide that. You know what I'm saying? But as it starts showing itself, you know what I mean? Be true to the vibes, man. Be true to the vibes around you, because what you come to feel most likely will boil to the surface. You know what I mean? If you feel like this guy's just greedy or whatever it is, or this guy just out for some ego points, he's just trying to be cool or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, eventually that's gonna boil to the surface. You know what I'm saying? And then that's gonna expose, again, the true intentions of the people. You know what I'm saying? So I would be like, you know, my piece of advice for that is just to surround yourself with good people. First and foremost, know your own intentions. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know that your intentions are true and pure, and then, you know, those around you that follow, you know, we're all in the same kind of vibe right now. But I would say to trust the vibes, you know what I'm saying? Trust the vibes and be aware of the intentions that are in your circle, that's around you, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just guard against it, you know?
What are your aspirations for your business in the future?
To grow it and get it more sustainable. Like I said, it's coming from like, obviously nobody does nothing by themselves. We all need each other, you know what I'm saying? But it's come from a very, very, very small, like, core, you know what I'm saying? And so we've been growing that and building on top of that, and trying to do the right things and seize the right opportunities and whatever. But just the aspirations is just to build it more, man. Build it more and have more, be able to come outside now and have more influence too outside. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been one thing for us to try to hold it for ourselves, like to try to maintain, okay, we're not drowning, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're trying to just keep our head above water. And now, you know what I mean? It's like before you save anyone else, you got to put the mask on yourself. You feel me? Like, you got to save yourself first, and then I can be, you know what I mean, able to help, whatever. So I would love to be in that position, and that's the goal, is to get to that position where we can do more than just offer haircut and just whatever, which is, it's always more than that, but it's you know, to have that real capability to be able to go into the community, be there. Like I said, we're already there, man. We're already, you know what I mean, with it, but it's just to have that bigger influence, you know what I'm saying? Do a festival out here, you know what I mean, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? With all different businesses, different things, and, you know?
What would you say to a young person looking to start a business in the hair and beauty industry?
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. If you don't love it, don't bother. You know, because it's one of those professions. Again, it's a creative, like sculpting. You know what I mean? It's like being like an artist, like a sculptor. You know, so it's like, if you, it's gonna test your heart. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't love it like that, in time it's gonna expose that. I feel. You know what I mean? And but it takes, I think, a certain type of person. You got to be able to deal with people, deal with people's energy. You know what I'm saying? We didn't go to school. I didn't go to school to become a therapist, but I'm a therapist out here. You know what I'm saying? For people, and they are for me also. You know what I'm saying? So it's you got to learn. It took time. Even for me, it took me time where I was like almost even carrying too many other people's energy out, because they come to you and they unload their issue, their thing, what they're going through, and they're, you know what I mean, and they're looking for you to give them some upliftment, and then still cut their hair at the same time and all that, right? So it's I would say that you definitely gotta love it, and you and go through it. You know, it's a game of reliability. That's really what it is. It's you know, the hair game is you have to be there. I can't not be. I have to be there in order to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be reliable. If I tell you, yo, 3 o'clock, I got you, that's 3 o'clock. And if it's not, then I gotta let you know, or, you know what I mean? There's gotta be that thing, and you gotta really put the hours in, man. They say 10,000 hours for anything, right? You put 10,000 hours into anything, you kind of mastered that. You've learned, you've kind of embodied all of that, what everything to do with that, you know what I mean? So it's, You know, put your hours in, put your time in. You know, it gets frustrating sometimes. You're like, yo, how do I get rid of this line? How do I get rid of this? But you have to love it. I say if you don't really love it like that, it could be a little hustle, I guess, for you or whatever, but it's not going to be that, you know, for me it's a lifestyle thing. For me, and the greats that I've seen do it, the good people that I've seen in this profession, older heads or whatever do it, it's always been a lifestyle thing, you know, as opposed to just a job.
What is it like being a young owner?
You know what, man, to be honest, again, I don't know how deep we're gonna get on this thing, but like for me personally, I don't take the ownership over the things like that. You understand? This life is a temporary lifestyle. This is not, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're the owner of the shop, but it's like we're just facilitating that. We're just vessels for these things to exist or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So I don't put that on my back like that. I don't give myself that kind of, because this ain't it. You understand what I'm saying? We still out here in the trenches and still struggling and still trying to pursue whatever that it's like. You know, I don't want to put that that ceiling on my head. You know what I'm saying? I hit my head and put that limit on me, like, oh, I'm a business, or what's a business owner, guy? Like, what's, you know what I mean? You go in one shop, like, is that in comparison to other things, like, you know what I mean? Or more, again, I don't know. I take it in a way where I try to be just humble with the whole thing, and you know, it's the universe's work, you know what I'm saying? And I just gotta show up, you know what I'm saying, and do my part, you know what I mean? And see it through and guide it and stand for what I believe in, for it and all that, you know what I mean? But for me, it's not about, oh, you're a young business owner, or you're this, like, it's like, man, you know, like it's, I signed up for when I was like 17 years old, you know what I'm saying, to be in pursuit of that lifestyle and that kind of thing. I never cared to open my own shop. It was never a dream of mine, like a classic barber dream. Oh, one day you get your own shop. Like, yeah, one day. You know what I mean? Like, I never cared about that, to be honest with you. It wasn't, for me, the vision was bigger than that. You know what I mean? And it's about the culture, and it's about, you know, the authenticity of the truth behind it all. And it's like, so for me, I never, it happened to go that way for the shop to come to be, because that's what needed to happen in order for me to carry that torch, you know what I'm saying, that I was given, you understand what I'm saying? So it was like, but that was just in the scroll, and for me it wasn't anything that, again, you know, and no disrespect to anybody that's their thing. One day I'll get my own shop, like, yo, if that's your thing, but I believe that we set the ceiling on ourselves, you know what I'm saying? You say, oh, you want to get your shop, then you get your shop, then okay, well, then what? Now once you got your, I just want a Benz, once you get the Mercedes, then what? It's still a car, yo. The car's still gonna give you problems, the thing's gonna give you a headache, and you know what I mean? You're gonna have to check engine light and all this kind of thing that's going on, like, you know? So it's, at the end of the day, we take it for what it is. I'm very grateful for the blessings and, you know, in pursuit of it all, but this has been something that we've been pursuing for 15 years, you know what I'm saying? Just like steady, like, you know what I mean? So, and that was never, the end goal was not this, you feel me? So that part of it, it's not like, I don't give myself any type of real pat on the back or any type of, like, I mean, I acknowledge and I'm grateful and, you know, and all of that, but it's more than that, you know?
What inspires you?
Just truth, you know what I'm saying? The true people around you, the good people, and you know, art, you know what I mean? For me, I appreciate the art that's authentic art, you know what I'm saying? Not fabricated art, you know what I'm saying? Like, whether it's music or, you know what I mean, visual art or whatever it is, but it's like something that represents truth, you know what I mean? And it represents, if it's claiming to come from a real place of you know, struggle or come up or whatever, it's like, let it be true to that and authentic to that, you know what I'm saying? Because we were out here looking for that guidance, you know what I'm saying? Especially, again, we're as young, especially as young boys, you know what I mean? We're trying to put together a collage of what does it mean to be a man, you know what I'm saying? What does it mean? So we're taking bits and pieces of all these things, you know what I mean? A little bit of this hip-hop track that we heard, a little bit of this guy in this movie role that we've seen, you know what I mean? Some guy from down the road that we kind of know that, you know, builds with us every so often, you know what I'm saying? All these people get added to this collage, you know what I mean? And like I said, the good people, man, good people, and the reality. I think reality is there, you know what I mean, for us to see it for what it is and not look at it for anything else, you know what I'm saying? You're seeing needles in the ground, you're seeing people, you know, on drugs, you're seeing whatever family member, whatever it is, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, it's reality, deal with the reality. You know what I mean? A lot of people run from pain, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the pain is there. If you can embrace the pain, you can be very inspired off of it. It can turn into a fuel for you, you know what I mean? Whereas a lot of people try to evade it, you know what I'm saying? And that's when it comes out in different ways, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, to answer the question, it's a long way, you know what I mean? Like, it's reality, man, just real life.
How does social media affect your the way you do business?
I'm gonna be honest with you, completely. For me, I never did anything on social media. Like, we got it now for the shop, but myself and my career, I didn't go that route. You know what I mean? And again, all the power to anyone that did and does. But like, I've always built it off of like kind of concrete relationships and the people around and whatever, you know. And I always looked at it like, yo, if you can't conquer just the world around you first, if you can't, you know what I mean, like deal with that first, then don't even try to. A lot of people get overzealous, you understand what I'm saying, and get too overly ambitious, and nothing wrong with it. All those things it's good things. Be ambitious, of course, but I think a lot of times people overstep or overshoot their thing before they get A, B, and C. They already want, you know what I mean, H-I-J or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you got to take the steps in order to get it, you know. So for me, in my personal career, I never went on social media like that. My thing has always been word of mouth. Like I said, I went to school for advertising. One of the first things they taught us in marketing is that the best form of advertising is word of mouth.
Oh, word of mouth.
Word of mouth. It all comes down to word of mouth.
Yeah.
What these people are trying to achieve when they put big billboards in, you know, Dundas Square or anywhere, Times Square, anywhere in the world, is they want me to tell you as a trusted source, yo, did you try the new Doritos? You understand what I'm saying? Because you might listen to me before you listen to the billboard, but that's what it's there for. You know what I mean? So the most powerful thing is the word of mouth. You know what I mean? And your name. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people, it's like, save your name. You know what I mean? And if your name is good, then all those bridges and all those things can be built off of that. You know what I mean? And you know, your name could be no good. You got all these followers on Instagram, but it's not gonna help you. You understand what I'm saying? Back in reality. You know what I mean? So for me, I understand the power of it. I'm not disregarding it. I'm not looking at it like for myself personally, I'm gonna get there. I'll get there. You know what I mean? Where I start putting stuff out there more on that platform. But for me, it's always been that time will come. You know what I mean? The right time. But it is definitely a platform, and it's there for it to be utilized. You know, for sure.
Just a question on opening up a business. How do you start?
You know what? I mean, again, I think what they say, quiet mouths don't get fed. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, you get the answer by asking the question. You know what I'm saying? So if you know the people around you, if there is people around you, then seek the information from them. You know, but also do your own research. Yeah. I'd say do your own research too, and then, like, come on, man, these days we got Google at our fingertips or whatever, like, you know what I mean, like all those things are there, you know what I mean, and it's just to take the steps and again, I think know the intentions, you know what I'm saying. I think the intentions is fueled by something genuine. You know what I mean? Or you genuinely feel like, you know what, there's a void in this whatever particular industry, like, that could be pursued or whatever. But I think it's like, you know, it comes down to the intentions and like I said, just do the research, man. The research is there. Ask the trusted people around you, you know what I mean? But also do your own research and take the steps. Because nothing happens overnight, you know what I mean? And the way I look at it too is like the efforts of the day, you know what I'm saying? Don't neglect the effort of the day because you did that on that one day, because I went and registered my business on that one day, you know, on the other day I was able to go, you know, get a whatever, building permit or something. You understand what I'm saying? I was able to take something from that day. You know what I'm saying? It came in boomerang and hit me on another day. You know what I mean? But because you did that, you're able to keep going with it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I think it's like not everybody. It's like life is a puzzle, right? It's like that puzzle thing. Everyone's life is a puzzle, but everyone's picture is different.
Please do not forget to like, comment, and share to our channel. Follow us on all our social media platforms. And for more information, please check out our website.